Now we move to step 3, which is to configure and verify basic switch setting. So here, what we have to do is we need to go to the console into the switch, and we need to enter the global configuration mode. So I will show you how to go to the global configuration mode. So basically, first, we need to, I will do on switch 1, and you need to repeat the steps for switch 2. So double click on switch 1. CLI is the console of the switch. So press enter and you will see the prompt here. How can we go to the global configuration mode? So if we look here to go to, you are required to go to the global configuration mode. So to go to the global configuration mode, so basically you need to type enable. So when you type enable, it will prompt you into a user exit mode. In user exit mode, what you can do is you can perform a show command where it can show the settings of the switches and the setting of and the config and your configuration. So if you want to configure your switch, so you need to go to or change the prompt to global configuration mode. So to go to global configuration mode, so we need to type configuration terminal, or in you can type in short, which is config T. Okay, you can either type configuration terminal or you can type in short config T. Okay. If you want to go back to user exit mode, so you can type exit. All right, so config, go back to the global configuration mode, config T. And if you want to go back to the user exit mode, so you can type exit. Okay, so now you are already in the global configuration mode. So the first task that you need to do once you are in global configuration mode is you need to give the switch name according to the addressing table. So here in the addressing table, the device name is S1 and S2. So we have to provide the name or change the name. So how can we know what is the current host name? The current host name is switch. So to change the name is we type host name S1. So you can see here the prompt has been changed from switch to S1. What it means as what it means is we already changed the name of the switch from switch to S1. So repeat the step for S2. So from the user exit mode, we need to go to the global configuration mode by typing config T, configure terminal, and then change the second switch to S2. So now we have changed the switch name to S1 and also S2. The next step that you have to do is you need to prevent unwanted DNS lookup. So how can we prevent the unwanted DNS lookup? So by default, the DNS lookup is enabled. So you can disable the DNS lookup by typing the command of no IP domain lookup. All right. So enter, and we are done now. So let us see what is the difference in terms of configuration. So basically, if I want to know currently what is the current configuration in my switch, so I need to issue the command show run running config, but in short we can put just show run. So you see, because we are now in global configuration mode, issuing a show command in global configuration mode is not acceptable. So what you have to do is you need to go back to the user exec mode and issue again the show running config command. So here you can see that it will show the current configuration in your switch. So just now you have issued the command no IP domain lookup. So basically it will be shown in the current configuration of the switch by issuing the command of show run. However, it's a bit hassle for you to go back to the user exec mode every time you want to view the running configuration of the switch. So what you can do is, if you are currently in global configuration mode, so you can issue the command do first and then followed by the show command. This is for you to enforce the show command in the global configuration mode. So for example, here I type do show run. The full command is do show running config. So, but I shorten it to do show run. So if I type do show run, so you can see that now you don't have to go back to the user exec mode. It accepts the show command and then it will display the current configuration of your switch. So I will do the same for switch 2. So in switch 2, I issue the command no IP domain lookup. So basically the command no will disable or remove any previous related command. Like for example, previously by default we have IP domain lookup or DNS lookup, but by issuing no, meaning it will disable the domain name system lookup. So the next thing that is instructed here in the lab is you need to enter local password, use class as the privileged exec password, and Cisco as the password for console access. So basically here, to prevent unauthorized access to the switch, you can configure the password on the enable. What is the enable? So earlier on, to get into the switch, we need to issue the command enable, isn't it? Once you issue the command enable on the switch prompt, so basically you will go to the user exec mode. But here, what we want to do is we want to set a password for the enable, and then at the same time, we want to enforce the password for console. So meaning before you get into the console, the CLI, so you will be prompted with a password. So to do that, so just make sure you are in global configuration mode. So now we are in global configuration mode. See, we have the prompt config here, and then we type the command enable secret class. So why we use class? Because it says here we need to use class as the password. Okay, and then enter. This is for you to configure the password for the privileged exec, and then the next thing is we need to set password for console. So to set password for console, line console 0, and then the password is Cisco. There is extra line that you have to set which is you need to issue the command login, because if even when you set a password, but if you do not issue the command login, meaning the password will not be effective. You will not be prompted with the password prompt during the login. So basically you need to type the command login and then press exit. Okay, so we are done with the password configuration. So the next thing is I will do the same for the switch 2 later on. Okay, but here I will concentrate on switch 1 first. The next step is we need to configure and enable the SVI switch virtual interface, okay, according to the addressing table. So here in the switch, so I will set interface VLAN 1. And provide the IP address for the VLAN. So basically, by default, every switch has one VLAN, virtual LAN. Okay, by default, the switch already have one virtual LAN which numbered as VLAN 1. So what happened here is once you type interface and then followed by the VLAN, so you see here the prompt has been changed from the global configuration mode into the interface configuration mode. So which is represented by config if. So here you can provide or configure the IP address for the VLAN. What is VLAN? So we have a special topic on VLAN itself, but to summarize, VLAN is a virtual LAN that enables you to create a logical LAN in a switch. So by default, when you have a switch, you have only a single LAN. You're allowed to have only a single LAN, but with VLAN, you can create as many VLAN as you want, like in a switch. Okay, and this every VLAN is numbered. So by default, even when you do nothing, okay, by default, a switch will have VLAN 1. If you want to have more VLAN, so you need to create the VLAN by issuing the command interface VLAN and then followed by the number. So in here, VLAN 1 will be given IP address of 192.168.1.1 and the subnet mask is 255.255.255.0. Press enter. So the configuration for the interface is command IP address and then the IP address of the interface, and then this is the subnet mask. All right, and then type no shut. No shut means you want to enable the interface. So you can see that when you type no shut, the interface VLAN state has been changed to up. So meaning the interface has been enabled.